Hey, what is up YouTube? Today I'm going to be showing you how to create Flappy Bird in Scratch. So starting off, we're going to delete this cat, we're going to make a new empty sprite, and we're going to name that Bird. So this is going to be our player. So we're going to start off by drawing the player. You can make this pretty much whatever you want. I'm just going to do a little normal Flappy Bird. So once you've made your bird, you're going to duplicate the sprite for the bird. Then you're just gonna make the wing a little bit smaller. So that's like the flap animation for the bird. Now an important part is to make sure it's centered, and it is. So make sure your body is centered. And we're gonna make the pipes. So make a new sprite and name this pipes. Now you have to make the art for the pipes, so I'm gonna quickly do that. You can make this gap wider or more narrow if you want to get your game to be easier or harder. So now we're going to start off by making the bird fly. So when fly clicked, go to -130, 0. I'll put our bird right there. And then I'm going to go for wait until, and we're going to wait until the mouse is down. So that's when we're going to start our game. So we're going to make a new variable, going to name it y velocity. We're going to set that to 0. Now the next step is we're going to create a custom block. So we're going to name this player physics, and we're going to make a parameter, and this one's going to be called gravity. The next one is flap power. Now this determines how fast we fall and how much we go up whenever we click. So we set this to -4 and 12. And we're going to change our y by y velocity and change y velocity by gravity. So now when we start the project, if we click, you'll see the bird falls. So we're going to make the gravity a little bit slower there. That should be good. Now the next step is again if mouse down. I'm gonna make a new variable called isFlying. I'm gonna put that in here, so when our mouse is down, we're gonna set flying to 1, and just outside when we start the game, we're gonna set that to 0. Now if the mouse is down, flying is 1, and we'll set our y velocity to flap power. Now I'm gonna get an and block, then if mouse down and is flying is equal to 0. Now just underneath this, we're going to get a new if statement, and then we're going to get a not. Then if not mouse is down, we're going to set flying to 0. So now if you hold it down, you can't fly, only if you click every time, which makes the game a lot better. Now we can mess around with the speed just to get it just right. That should be good. Now we're also gonna add a limiter, so if our y velocity less than, let's say, -30, we're gonna set the y velocity to -30. This way you won't fall too fast, because that might cause glitches in the game. Now gonna get on to making our bird look a bit better, because right now it looks kind of boring when it flaps. It's just pointing in a straight line. Nobody wants that. Now we're gonna make the bird rotate smoothly. So I've made this little algorithm, and this will get to rotate perfectly. So I'm just gonna quickly explain how this works. This is how you make the bird rotate smoothly. Direction plus, then in that we're gonna get a minus direction. Within that, we get 90 minus y velocity times 2. Then we're going to divide all of that by 3. So this will give us the smooth turning that we want. As you can see, everything is working very nicely. Now, next part is our pipes. We want our pipes to move from right to left. So we're going to do this with a simple script. So change x find minus 25. Gonna repeat until X position. Then you can bring your pipes to the left of the screen and see how far you want it. Then down here it tells you what the X position is, so we're gonna get that. So if it's less than minus 278, there we go. So we're gonna repeat until that. They're just gonna hide. I'm gonna show it start. And then for all that, we're gonna set it to 280. Then we're gonna set our Y to random between minus 80 and 80. So as you can see, the pipe's a bit quick, so let me change that. There's a more reasonable speed. So as you can see, the pipe starts at a different position every time. It moves towards us. Even a bit slower. Yeah, that should be good. We only have one pipe. We want more than one pipe, of course. So to do that, I'm gonna do when I receive, begin spawning pipes. We're gonna create a clone. Within the clone, we're gonna put this script here. We're also gonna hide when flag is pressed, so that doesn't do anything weird. And then we're gonna add a wait, maybe 6 seconds, and put that in forever. So then, go into your bird, and broadcast begin spawning pipes. Put that right there, fill the mouse down. Now we're also gonna hit the game start. So, start game. Gonna move all this over there, and just below the green flag, we're gonna put the start game. So now, once we start, the pipes will start coming. Maybe the gap in between is a bit too long. Change this to like 2 seconds. Yeah, that should be good. A little bit too difficult, so I think I'm gonna make the bird maybe even slower. Maybe jump more. You can adjust your physics however you want in your game. I'm just gonna set it to what I feel is right in my one. There's a little bug pipe sticking out, so I can change that to my 1660. Make sure your pipes extend down this way as far as you can, just so that it's like it doesn't go off screen. Here we go. Bird can move through the pipes really nicely. Now we're gonna add some animation to the bird. So I'm gonna make this a bit wider, just to make it more obvious when we're doing the animation. So we're gonna always have the costume 1. Then we're gonna get an if statement. If we're gonna get a greater than and y velocity is greater than 8. Switch our costume to costume 2. Just gonna put that underneath there. So as you can see, we can see our bird flap a little bit. Now next we're going to add the background, which is a very important part. Now we don't want like a background really boring just by itself, nothing, like it's not moving. We want it to move. So this is probably one of the more difficult parts of making it, because you have to make it line up perfectly. So the way we're going to do this is just going to make your background. Do some clouds and some buildings for mines. Sort of like the original game. Not an artist, so it's not very good, as you can see. So you can pretty much do this as whatever you want. Now, once you've made your background, I'm going to group it all together, make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to copy and paste it and just move it to the right and to the left. And you have to make sure that's exactly on the edge, just like that. Okay, center it. Over your back, I'm just going to keep duplicating a few times, usually this much. Well for me. So you're going to select all of that, group it, just scale it up until it fills the entire screen. Now in here, you're going to just keep on going through, changing the X until you find out how far you can go for it to line up correctly. There we go, mine is, I think 416 is how mine lines up, and it should go perfectly. So now you want to make it scroll. So we're going to change our X by, let's say, -5, and just going to do that until it's at 416. You can see in here. So for mine, I have 83. You can find this just by trial and error. And there you go, I've got it lined up. So I'm just gonna flag clicked. And forever do that. You just make an empty costume. Switch to that before. Then you set your size. You switch to their background costume. Now it should smoothly scroll. You don't notice where it stops and continues. And we can also hide these variables here, and it's also important to make this go to the back as well. Now, our next part is to add a game over, which is pretty simple. So, in the bird, we're going to do if touching the pipes, we're going to broadcast, stop everything. Now we're going to go into the pipes, and when I receive stop everything, stop other scripts in Sprite. Make sure not to do stop all or stop just the script, because if you stop all, it'll stop everything in the project. And if you do stop this script, it'll only stop this, so it won't actually affect anything else. So if you go ahead and start, then we touch one of the pipes, just stop the pipes. Now we also need to add this same script to the background, so just drag it on in there. We're also going to make this within the start game. And now you can start, the pipes are there, then you fall. That's just how we want it. We're gonna make it when I receive stop everything, in like 4 seconds. Stop other scripts in Sprite. And then we're gonna broadcast one game over. We're gonna make this will be title screen, and this will also work as our game over text. So we're gonna start off by making our title screen. It's gonna be rather simple. You guys can make this as complicated or simple as you want as well for your own projects. I've got a nice little menu for a game, so I'm going to start game. I'm going to switch to that costume. Then when you begin spawning pipes, you're going to hide. We're also going to show in the start game as well, that's important. So there you go, we'll show. So I want our bird to be pointing 90 degrees. And now I'm also going to add a little bit of polish to this menu. So I'm going to get rid of this wait until. Let's change it to a repeat until. Repeat until. Change by sign of timer times 250. I'm going to times that by like 3. A little bit of this, 2. Now that will make our bird move up and down. Next we're just gonna change that. It's pretty good. So we've got our bird moving along. We can start. We've got our pipes. Then we die. Now we're also gonna change this up a little bit. Now we're gonna have a new costume. It's going to be our bird when he hits the pipes. He's going to be very unhappy about this. So very painful hitting the pipe. So now we're going to switch to costume 3 whenever we touch the pipes. We're also going to rename these costumes to make it a bit easier, so we're going to have normal, flap, and then hit. So we're going to name these, and we're also going to switch to the normal whenever we start the game. So now all we have to do is get an if statement. If not costume name is equal to hit, then we're going to be able to do all of this stuff here. And we're also going to copy that and put it around this first bit as well, because we don't want to change it away from the hit once we're hit. So let's just try that out. As you can see, the bird changes the hit costume and falls away. Now we're going to change this little wait 4 seconds to wait maybe 0.5 seconds. Instead, we're going to wait until the Y is less than 200. And we're going to broadcast the game over. Now, in the title screen, when I receive game over, I'm going to make a new costume. I'm going to make game over there. So player knows, oh, messed up, game over. Then we're going to just click to retry. I'm also going to add this. Your score was then we're going to get our score in here. So we're going to make a new variable. We're going to name it score. Change this to large. We're just going to show this so we can see where to put it. We put that right there. So within the bird, we're just going to set score to 0. Then the pipes, we're going to get a new clone script. So when I start as clone, I'm going to wait 0.5 seconds. And then I'm going to wait until X position of the bird is greater than X position. Then we're going to change score by 1. And we're also going to add a delete this clone at the end of the script once we hide. Now, also in this title screen, we're going to show the score variable. And in the bird, we're going to hide the score when we start the game. And we're also going to add a wait until. We're going to wait until the mouse is down. And we're going to broadcast start game. And we're going to fix this little Y position bug, so let's change that to -170. So just at the end of the script, if we go down too far, we want to end the game. So we're going to get an if, then Y position less than 170, stop other scripts and sprite, broadcast game over, and hide. So I forgot to change this game over sprite. So I'm also going to make the game a little bit easier for myself, since I'm obviously not very skilled at Flappy Bird. I'm also going to delete this clone whenever we do start game. We're also going to add a little wait function, so wait 0.1 seconds. So when we just click start, it doesn't automatically just instantly go to playing. And we're just going to change up the script within the pipes. So we're going to move this go to just up here above this so that it sets it correctly. I'm just going to remove a little wait before that as well. We're also going to set our X to 280 so that doesn't go off incorrectly. So now we start. See, we go through our pipes. Score of 1. Just keep going. Score of 2. So everything works correctly. There's only one last thing to add. Sound effects, which is a very important part of every game. So first we're going to add a grunt sound effect and a whoosh. So I think this one's good. So I'm going to play the whoosh when we flap, start the game. So wait until touching pipes, then we're gonna crunch. That's the end of my tutorial. Hopefully you guys all were able to follow it through okay. If you found any bugs or glitches while making your game, just leave a comment and I'm gonna try my best to help everybody out. So if you liked the video, make sure to like it. If you liked it a lot, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.